was the first to be born and decided to eliminate all his siblings to be left alone with his mother and the nest. This mother was very happy in her home. She's hatching the eggs she left in the nest a few days ago, waiting for her babies to be born. Time passes slowly, but there she is, working for her offspring, ready to go to look for food for them to grow up healthy. The eggs are ready to hatch. They're enormous, and the mother comes back to be there for them. They can be born at any moment, and she wants to be ready to feed them from the very first minute. Out of nowhere, poof, you can see the head of the first chick, hatched hours before his siblings. Immediately, he begins to receive all the love from his worried mother and is her only focus of attention. Meanwhile, the little one eats from the beak of its mother to accumulate strength and energy to live. However, as the minutes go by, he will focus all of that in a coup d'etat, which will brutally end all his little brothers and sisters who have not yet arrived in the world. It only took a few hours for the second of the chicks to be born. The family is getting bigger. The mother goes back and forth to look for food, while her little ones wait for her in the nest. You can tell she cares and is looking after them in the best possible way. However, she doesn't know that the eldest one is starting to do bad things. He doesn't care that his mother is there, giving it her all. He starts to move one of the eggs that have not yet hatched to throw it into the void. He wants to be the only one alive there. The mother is distracted and doesn't know how to react. Her eldest son is committing a brutal coup d'etat, killing his little siblings one by one. He is using the energy he received in his first few hours in this world in a horrible way. He is a criminal and is remorselessly returning to his mother's chest to continue resting. He has already finished with 2 of his own, but the plan still stands. He wants to take over the nest completely and will do the impossible to achieve this. He doesn't even care about his mother. He'll take advantage of the fact that she flew away in search of food to turn the existence of his siblings into an inferno with all his strength. And without the interference of the mother, he starts to push out of the nest everything he comes across. No one will end up alive there. They will all be horrifically murdered by this chick who wants everything for himself. No one has a chance to resist. He's already bigger than the others and has everything he needs to finish them off. His evil plan is working out to perfection, and he has fewer and fewer victims left at his mercy. Meanwhile, on the ground, you can see the remains. The body structure of the biggest of the pigeons makes it very easy for him to do what he is doing. However, while he is looking very sweet with his siblings, he goes back again to continue attacking and eliminating them. He leans with his wings on the sides of the nest and pushes the innocent chicks out with all his strength using his back. The innocent chicks leave the nest to fall into the empty space. It is a strange and terrible image because of the way it happens, but also because this is how nature works. Even though the little one tries to save himself, his fate is fatal. There is only one of his siblings left in the nest. She's the last of his victims, but apparently she's the most difficult. He has her on the edge of the cliff, but can't make her fall off. The task is now more complicated, but he doesn't give up. He tries to go through the same process he went through with the other innocents, but it seems to be more difficult. Maybe he is tired, but the situation is tense. The young pigeon doesn't want to fall to the depths of the cliff and does her best to stay away from her older brother's back. That is the only way to escape with life and hope that their mother will soon return. Out of nowhere, the calmness briefly returns. The painful thing is that this calmness lasts only a short time. The only way to escape is to wait for the mother to return. As the king of the nest, he returns to the charge to throw him over the edge, but again, it is hard for him to balance himself on his back, to carry her to the top of the nest and throw her into the void. The little one resists with all her strength. The previous executions had been a different story, but this one seems to be a real battle for survival. She knows what's coming, so she tries her best to do the impossible and stay safe inside the nest. However, danger is imminent as despite the fact that the victimizer is still having problems kicking her out of his house, her fate seems to be decided. He's totally committed to his goal, which has been since the minute he was born, has been to end up alone with his mother by killing all of his innocent siblings. Although it all looks very slow, what is happening is a brutal battle for survival. However, his fate seems totally sealed from the very first moment. Their size difference is very large, and it can only mean that victory will go to the victimizer. He has only one left to his attack into a totally successful coup d'etat. The minutes pass slowly, but the end is coming. There is nothing left to set himself up as the king of the nest, because, suddenly, after several seconds of intense struggle, the last victim falters and falls to the ground with no chance to climb back up again. The coup d'etat ultimately ends up being a success. The eldest of the pigeons managed to eliminate each one of his siblings to stay alone with his mother in the home. The battle is over, and there is no one who can do anything about it.